So the offset function is something that you will probably want to learn once you realize how useful it is. Let's say that you want to take something from this data. You want to know the fifth largest city in the world, and you want the population for 2010. So I just sort of made up these population numbers. So you could easily come down here, see the 5, that's the fifth ranked city in the world, go across, and you see the population for 2010. But what if you're constantly changing what you need to look up? The second time it's the 10th city, but this time you want to get the population for 2002. You'd have to scroll back and forth through this long list of cities, and it might get kind of tiring. So I'll just show you a couple of basic examples, and I think afterwards you'll agree that it is something that you'll use. So first thing is the category for the offset function. The offset function is a lookup and reference function. If we come over here to formulas on the ribbon, click lookup and reference, here we have the offset function. So let me just show you what it can do. So the different arguments, I've got them all listed here. You notice the first three do not have those square brackets. So that means the first three are mandatory. The last two, these two, are optional. I'll show you another example at the end of the video when you might use these two. But for now, we'll just use these three only. So let's just highlight those three. I'll type in equal sign, offset, reference. Now, I like to refer to reference as the starting point. So let me just demonstrate with this. This would be our starting point, and we want to tell Excel, okay, if I start here, if I go down 5, that's going to get us down to Mumbai, and then from here I want to go to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this gets us the population for 2010, that fictitious number. Now later on, if we wanted to go down 10 from this starting point, we need to put a 10 for this argument right here. How many rows down? A positive number goes down, and a negative number would go up. Now it's similar for this argument, columns. So once again, let's just go down 10. We can see it there easily with the rank. And if you wanted to get the population for 2002 this time, we only have to go over 1, 2, 3 cells. So it's sort of like a grid. You have to start somewhere, which is right here, and then it's how far down, which is just a number. Give the this argument a number. A positive number goes down, and then if we want to go to the right, just give a positive number of how far to the right. So now I'll just fill in the offset here, equals offset. This cell is our starting point, and it's just as best practice, I hit the F4 key to lock this. Those dollar signs just mean that it's locked. If we were ever to copy or drag this formula, it would stick on that cell. So how far down? Let's say 5, and how far to the right? We'll put 5. So we are expecting to see this number once I press enter. And sure enough, there it is. So I will just copy the formula text so that you can see it, put an apostrophe here, and then paste. So that's the text of the formula. And this is the result of the formula. Let's just format them both the same. So the second time, now we want to pull out the 2002 population for Shanghai. So we click on that cell. Once again, we just lock it. I could have dragged the formula down, but I'll just type it again. 10, that's how far down, that's the rank. And then how far to the right? This time, once we go down to here, 10 cells, we want to go over 1, 2, 3. So I type in a 3, close off the bracket, press enter, and now we're getting this population. So now I'm just going to go like this, put the apostrophe, paste. So now you see two different examples retrieving the values easily. Now, if you didn't want someone to go in here all the time and change that, let's do one more example. This time we're going to go like this and say, let's go down to Jakarta, which is 6, right? Like that. Going down 6 cells from the rank, from this starting point. And then we want to go over, let's say, 4 cells. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4. That will give us this fictitious population for 2006. So I'll just go up here. Equals offset. Reference or starting point, once again, is there. We lock it with F4 key. How many rows down? Well, we want to go down 6. And how many columns to the right? This time 1, 2, 3. So that's the correct answer. But this time we're going to change it a little bit and have these two numbers, the 6 and the 3, just be inputs in a cell so that someone could change it without having to come in here. So I'm going to put a 6 over there and a 3 here. And then I'm just going to call this how far down and how far to the right. So now we have the 6 and the 3 in these two cells. So we're just going to change this. The 6 now will reference that cell, and this 3, we're going to change that so it references this cell. So I guess best practice, we'll just lock these again, press enter, and now it's retrieving exactly what we want to get, which is, where is it? The 6 and the 3 going down 6, 1, 2, 3. Oh, there it is. That's the population for 2002. This is actually what we're getting. Yes. So this one goes down to here. This one, 10 and 3, gets that number. And this one here is 5 and 5. So it's Mumbai, and it's getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this value. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there are these two other arguments, and you might be thinking, well, why would I want to use them? Well, what if someone said, I don't want to just get one number. Let's just do this. Let's say for Mexico City. Someone doesn't want to get just one number. They want to get all 3 of these numbers. And of course, maybe they want to average those 3. So that's what we're going to do now by looking at using the last 2 here, the height and the width. So this is a little bit different, but we're going to start off the same. Offset, and we click this cell one last time, F4, we lock it. How far down? Well, we want to go down 3. How far across? We want to start with getting this number. So we go down 3, 1, 2, 3. We go across 1, 2, 3 again. So it's 2 3s. This time we'll just leave them inside of here. Now, what's the height? The height means how many rows of data do we want to get. If I put in a 3, it would be saying our height is 3 like this. And if the width was 3, it would be a box. 3 times 3 is 9. We would be pulling in all 9 of these numbers. But those belong to different cities. So I'm going to put in a height of 1, meaning that we're only going to be getting 1 row of data. We don't know how many yet going across. That's the next argument, the width. So just like I'll put in a 3. So that means, let's just review this again, because I know the first time you see it, it's a bit strange. Go to D17. Let's just type this out, and I'll pick a different color this time. It's getting a bit messy here. So we start here again on that cell, like we always do, D17. We go down 3 to here. How far across, like where do we want to start? So we say 1, 2, 3. We're starting right here. We want to get this number, but we also want to get this number and this number. We want to get all 3 of these numbers, and then what did I say? We wanted to get the average for all 3 of those numbers. So let's just change this up here. What's inside of here so far? Let's just make sure I did this right. D17, down 3, across 3, 1, 2, 3. Height of 1, right there. If I click on height, it jumps to the 1. Click the width, that's a width of 3. So what's inside of here? Well, if I press enter, I'm seeing this. Is this incorrect? Well, let's highlight the whole thing, press the F9 key on your keyboard, and we actually see all three numbers the same as here, but they're sort of stuck inside. And remember, we want to get the average of those three numbers. So we see we have the correct numbers. I'll press the escape key, or I could also, let's press undo. There is the formula, and I'll just type in the average function at the beginning here, open bracket, and at the end put a closing bracket. So we sort of dynamically, we're saying get these three numbers, and now we're going to do something with those three numbers, which is the average. I'm going to click the green check mark or press enter on your keyboard, and that is the average, which is very useful to know. You'll find many applications for this. So just to test that out, let's go over here and type equals average, open bracket, make our selection of those three. So is the offset telling us the correct thing? Well, look at that. This one is the same. We're manually getting the average of these three cells, and here we're dynamically getting the average of those three. So what if someone said, well, now I want to get the average of the 3 for Manila? All we have to do, come in here, remember our arguments, rows is how many down. Instead of 3 down for Mexico City, we want to, what did I just say, Manila. We want to go down 11 cells. So I'm going to type an 11 instead, press enter, and let's just see if that result is correct. And it's a little bit late for me. Let's go down to copy this formula. I will select this cell, I'll paste it. Sure enough, this is the same as that cell. So it is working. And then if someone said, okay, I only want to get the average for the first two cities from Manila. I only want to see this one and this one averaged together. Well, as you can probably imagine, we go in here, we click that part, click the width. Right now we're saying grab 3 of them, change it to a 2, press the enter key, and now that's our average, the average of these 2 cells. So let's change this one. We're not going to go all the way over. Let's just drag this back to the right, if I can get in there. Like that. Press enter, and it matches. So now, hopefully, you might have to rewind a little bit and watch certain parts over again. It does look a little messy here at the end, but now you can see how useful the offset function is.